You know that feeling, right? As a business owner, you work so hard to win over a new customer, and then, poof, they just disappear, without a word. It's this quiet drain on your growth that's just maddening. But what if there was a way to completely flip that script? Today, we're going to break down a really powerful framework that's all about turning those one-time buyers into fans for life.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle what's called the leaky bucket problem, which, trust me, affects almost everyone. Then, we'll get into the huge mindset shift from being reactive to proactive. After that, we'll dig into the art of connecting proactively, learn how to turn friction into trust, which is a really cool one, and finally, put it all together to become a customer magnet.
Okay, let's dive right in. We have to start by looking at this problem that quietly sabotages growth. It sucks up your resources, it can kill team morale. It's time we really diagnose this leaky bucket problem.
I mean, we've all been there. You get the new sale, you're excited, you feel like you did a good job, and then crickets. Just silence. It's like they just vanish into thin air. So what is actually going on?
And this is what we're talking about, the classic leaky bucket syndrome. You're just pouring all this time, all this money and energy into getting new customers in the top, but at the same time, the customers you already have are quietly slipping out through the cracks at the bottom. It feels like you're working harder and harder just to stay in the same place. It's exhausting.
And here's the number that should really make you pay attention. It can cost up to 5 times more to bring in a brand new customer than it does to just keep one you already have. Just think about that for a second. We're literally burning cash chasing new leads when the biggest profits are sitting right there in the relationships we've already started.
So, where does the leak actually start? Well, it begins with this thing called ghosting. And this isn't some sudden dramatic cancellation notice. No, it's a slow fade. They stop opening your emails, they stop using your product, they just stop engaging. The thing is, they've checked out emotionally way before they ever get around to officially leaving.
So what's the fix? Well, it all comes down to a really fundamental shift in how we approach this whole thing. We have to stop being firefighters, constantly running around putting out fires, and instead, we need to become architects. We need to start fireproofing our business from the get-go. And this right here, this is a huge mindset shift. It's so easy to think that if no one's complaining, everyone must be happy. But that is such a dangerous assumption. Silence isn't satisfaction. A quiet customer might just be quietly looking for the exit.
So let's break it down. You've basically got 2 ways to operate. The reactive firefighter waits for the alarm, that angry email, the bad review. At that point, all you can do is damage control. But the proactive fireproofer, they're building a relationship. They're building a fortress of trust by anticipating what their customer needs long before a problem ever has a chance to catch fire.
Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually do this? How do we put this proactive mindset into practice? It all starts with you leading the conversation. No more waiting, it's time to connect.
The single most powerful place to begin is right after they click buy. From that moment on, your #1 job is to get them to their aha moment as fast as humanly possible. That's that magic moment where the switch flips in their brain from, oh man, I hope this was a good idea, to, yes, I am so glad I bought this. Getting them there fast is everything.
So how do you do that? Well, imagine instead of getting that cold, automated receipt, you get a message that says this. Just read that. We see you as a partner, not just an order number. See what that does? That one little sentence completely changes the dynamic. It's no longer just a transaction, it's the beginning of a real connection.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. The first 48 hours after a purchase is your golden opportunity. It's this tiny window where you can completely wipe out any buyer's remorse, make them feel brilliant for choosing you, and build an emotional foundation that's going to last for a very, very long time.
All right, now this next part, it might sound a little crazy, but what if I told you that all the things that go wrong, mistakes, shipping delays, software bugs, what if those were actually your single greatest opportunity to build loyalty that is literally unbreakable?
It's a real psychological principle called the service recovery paradox, and it's fascinating. Think about it. A customer who has an issue that you solve incredibly well often becomes more loyal than a customer who never had a problem to begin with. Why? Because a perfect, smooth experience is often forgettable, but an experience where you messed up and then went above and beyond to make it right, that's memorable. That builds real trust.
And this is what that looks like in the real world. This is the proactive apology. You don't wait for them to find the problem and get angry. You get out ahead of it. You reach out first, you own it completely, and here's the key part. You tell them you're already fixing it. You take all the frustration and burden off of them and put it onto yourself. It turns a potential disaster into a moment of, wow, this company really cares. So when you start to put all these pieces together, you plug the leaks in your bucket, you adopt that proactive mindset, and you learn to turn friction into trust, you finally arrive at the real endgame.
Remember that leaky bucket we talked about at the very beginning? Well, it turns out the point was never just to patch the holes. The real goal is to transform that entire bucket into a magnet. It's about building such a powerful force of connection and trust that it doesn't just stop people from leaving. It actively pulls them closer. It makes them want to stick around.
And you know what the absolute best part is? This whole strategy, it's your secret weapon. Your competitors, they can copy your product, they can slash their prices to beat yours, they can even try to mimic your marketing. But the one thing they can never, ever replicate is the genuine human connection that you build, one proactive conversation at a time. That becomes your fortress.
So I'll leave you with one final thought, a question to really chew on. Are you just building a list of emails, or are you building a legacy? A legacy of trust, where your customers feel so seen and so valued that they don't just stay, they go out and tell everyone they know about you. That choice is completely yours.